What's up, everyone? How are you guys doing? My name is Rossie McCree, and welcome back to Rossie's Clubhouse. Today, I got with me, guys. This is a multi-talented, creative genius. Okay, Joel Goulet. So, funny story. I met Joel about a year ago. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year I met Joel, and there was a casting that was on Sat Casting, and I remember seeing it. I saw it twice, and I remember it was something about toys and brands and all that, and I didn't know what it was. So I was like, but it seems like it's fun. I'm a grown kid, so I went ahead and had an interview with Joel and Stan, who is the owner, part owner of Fathom at the time. We are now Direct Message DM, and we had a nice little interview, on Zoom. Just wanted to see my hands because it was a hand modeling gig. So I never done that before. I remember getting into the studio that day and walking in, and if you're a huge child like I am, you go into the studio and there's just toys everywhere. There's paint, there's slime, there's just this adult playground with all these creatives that are around me. And then I get to the set and I see this set is built of this little town and these little dogs. And I remember, I meet everyone and I'm wondering, okay, so what is it that I'm doing? And so Joel, who was directing that episode, it was a Paw Patrol, and I'll have Joel explain exactly what we do there when we get into that. But there was a little toy. Now I know him as Chase, and Joel's like, just pick him up and move him just like this, and I'm like, that's it. He's like, that's it. That scene's done with. And so it just blew my mind when I got done and wrapped for the day. I remember asking Joel, how do I come back? I just want to know how I come back. And he let me know they'll reach out to you. And almost a year later or so, I am still with this company. I love these people. And that's where I met Joel, who is just, everyone there is really talented. Joel is just like the genius behind all of this. And then getting to know Joel, he does so much. There's just so much that he does. So, Joel, let's go back to what was your original occupation before you got into the arts?
For years, I was a projectionist at movie theaters. Started doing 35 millimeter, moved sort of into the digital age, and in Sacramento, I was the projectionist at the Crest Theater for about 7 years, from 2015 to 2022, something like that. And
So
then,
you're the guy that plays our movies, that you're up there making sure that we see our movies. That's
yeah,
that's interesting. That's pretty awesome. How did you like that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a great opportunity to have sort of a skilled trade, and especially with the 35 millimeter, and then also get out of customer service. Previously, I'd been on the floor as an usher or as a box office worker and an assistant manager at the theaters, but I preferred not dealing with the customers. So being in the projection booth was great, and working by myself, sometimes late nights, which also suited me at the time. Yeah, and then
So
I would watch movies and watch movies and watch movies and watch movies. I'm always a huge movie fan and always wanted to make movies. I've been making movies since I was a little kid, really, but
oh, okay.
always wanted to do it professionally, but really wasn't sure how. And then at the Crest Theater, we would do lots of events, lots of film festivals, and I would always want to be down there on the stage talking about the movie that I made rather than up in the booth showing it to the people. And then eventually, my friends and I make lots of movies, as I mentioned, been doing it since I was a little kid, but we made a feature and I released it, self-released at some theaters that I'd worked at, and over the years, and that sort of gave me the confidence to pursue the arts as a career. And then I heard about this company, which was called Fathom, which was local, and some people that I knew had started working there. And I was really interested, so I kind of bullied my way in.
So when you started at Fathom, What did you do when you first started there? Like, what was your first position that you did there?
I walked in as, I think I was supposed to be like a production assistant on a toy play that they were doing, but they were shorthanded in the art department, and so I flipped over to there and did that for many months, just building miniature sets and props for the
Right,
production.
right. Yeah, so you guys with the toy play, for instance, Paw Patrol, so what they found out was that kids enjoyed watching you play with the toys as they watch the show. So we would get like maybe a 4 minute, clip of an episode, and you have the art department or artists that go and like Joel was doing, which was building the sets for that episode. So everything that happens in that episode, they build it. And it's amazing. I found it amazing what you guys did because the talent but you in particular and Amanda as well. Amanda's just another genius there. But you are just some of the ideas that you come up with. I'm always amazed. The little helicopter for Sky, the fact that you put a little battery in it so the helicopter can spin, and just some of the different toy plays that I was on sets that you built was just absolutely amazing. But when did you first hear about toy play, Toymation? Because I'd never heard about it until I started working there at Fathom. So was that new to you, or had you already heard about?
No, yeah, same. I didn't know this world existed at all. Um, I had done, made some videos with miniatures and done some stop motion in my youth, but no, I didn't know that this toy play genre existed on YouTube. But for those who don't know, it's really popular with the kids. They like to watch other kids play with toys, and then the corporations caught on to that, and so they started making these videos where we're pretending that kids are playing with toys, and really grown-up kids like Rossie and myself. But we're sort of making a more professional version of what the kids are already doing to interest children in toys.
Right. Right. It's really cool because I worked on one of them. It was a Paw Patrol, but it was a skate park one, and someone had built this whole skate park. And what I love about being there is there is no wrong way of doing things. You know what I mean? Like if you need to make mud, everyone will think about a way to make mud. And usually, my delicious hot chocolate packets have been used so many times for dirt, for mud. But when you're a first timer walking on the set and seeing that, like I said, I'm blown away with that. Um, you have a son, and he was quite young when you got into it. How was it when you brought him in, and just from the eyes of a child to see what dad does?
It was awesome. He'd love to come in and check it out and see the videos that we made because I would always share them with him because he's so interested. And then he ended up getting to do a couple of voices on some of the videos that we made,
Wow.
which he's going to appreciate it more when he's an adult than he
Right.
probably does now. But he appreciated the money that he made.
Right.
But yeah, that was amazing, and also just like I'm trying to say that. Like I guess what you were saying is like there's no wrong way to do something. So
Yeah.
many times we just off camera there's like a piece of tape holding something up, or just off camera there's just a piece of set is just like leaning against a board, or we
Yeah.
have like a piece of tissue is like the basis of a special effect. We rip through the tissue or
Right.
something, and on camera it looks like this amazing, spectacular scene. But behind the scenes, you can see that it's really janky. And I've always felt like in these instances, like the jankier the solution, as long as it looks good on camera, that's the one.
Exactly. Exactly. What was the hardest toy play that you had done? One that they wanted something just crazy, and I mean, when they want something, you have to figure it out. I mean, it's just you have to figure it out. And Joel always figures out a way to do it. But the hardest one to date that you have worked on. that worked
Um,
your nerve?
Well, earlier in my like directing career, doing these, I think I put more pressure on myself and the timelines and not necessarily the quality of the video, but how we got there. I would try to get there in a more, I don't know, a way that was maybe harder than it needed to be. And so I couldn't pinpoint like one. There was maybe like one that Blaze was doing like a mud race or getting coins out of a mud pit or something. And I think we had to do these wild things with the camera angles, and he was jumping up on these levels of platforms, like a platform video game, getting these coins, and it was hard to do. We were like raising the table to achieve the move that he was going up and down, and I was trying to catch it all with the camera and maybe the hand models were wearing plastic bags as dresses over their clothes because we were splattering this mud, which was shaving cream dyed brown,
The
all over
shaving
their
cream.
clothes, or we would have been. So they were wearing these garbage bags. That was tricky. In the middle of winter, so we had the doors all shut. It was all kind of steamy in the room. That was a challenge. And then there was this Jurassic World toy play where we were kind of less using less hands. Normally in the toy plays, it's like literally a hand holding a toy and pretending to move it just like you would if you were a kid playing with a toy. But in these ones, we were using rods and sticks to kind of puppeteer them.
Right.
And then at the last minute, we found out that after we made the video, we found out that they didn't want to see any of the sticks. So
Oh
we had to
wow.
kind of madly figure out ways to either reshoot things without the sticks or remove the sticks with like post production techniques.
Right.
And that was frustrating, like in the aftermath of making the video, not so much during. And most
Right.
of the time, making the videos, we just have a great time. I try not to put too much pressure on it, and so we just have a lot of laughs. And every time we make a
Yes.
mistake, it's funny instead of being frustrating.
Right.
Sort of just a mindset.
I have to say that the Jurassic World, that toy play, the sets that was built for that one is one of my favorites. That was awesome that you guys did. Seeing that the final product of the Jurassic toy play was really awesome. But you guys, well, first of all, let's let them know when you do a toy play from beginning to meeting with the brand and the end. How long does it take to do like a Paw Patrol?
About 5 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, and
Okay.
that we have this relationship with these brands. This particular one is Nickelodeon, um, and so their YouTube page is where our videos live. They'll approach us with a document that has the entire like the plot, all the information about how long it needs to be, when it needs to be done, some pictures from the episode with like log lines about different beats that we are supposed to hit, and then some ideas about how to do the props. Um, and then we have a meeting with them where we ask them questions about whether or not this method is appropriate for this scene or that method, maybe depending on what the needs are. Then we go into building. We probably build the sets for only about a week. It usually takes 2 to 3 people to do that. And then we go to the set the following week, probably about a week of shooting with 3 to 4 people, usually 2 hand models, a camera operator, and a director. Not necessarily, but
Yeah.
those 4 positions have to be filled. Sometimes people are doing multiple things. Um, and then it goes into post production for about a week, goes back and forth to the client with notes and make changes, and then delivered usually about 5 weeks after we get it.
That's awesome. Um, are we the only ones do you know in Sacramento that's doing this type of work?
Yeah, in Sacramento.
Yeah, I
It's surprising that there are even other companies doing it at all, but there are a couple of companies in LA that do this with they don't do it with us, but they are also partners with our partners.
Okay.
I wouldn't say they're our competitors, but we're all kind of in the same world. But I think there may be more companies out there that do it. I know other brands have these types of videos also. And then, of course, there's all the little kids who actually get all the views doing it organically.
Besides that, you guys, Joel is involved in a lot of other things. I mean, besides just Toy Play at DM Direct Message Studio, they also are involved with branding and working with other companies. But Joel, the biggest project that you guys had, would you say would be Cassie?
Yeah.
Would you explain to them what that project is and just a little bit about that? Because that was amazing. What you guys did there, that was a huge project.
Yeah, I think I made it bigger than it probably was supposed to be, but I think I made it as big as it needed to be. And this wasn't the biggest project we've worked on as a company, but personally the biggest project I've worked on.
Okay.
Sure. And what this was a explainer series about occult history with a comedian as the host named Cassie Workman. She is an expert in occult history as well as being a very funny woman, and so and really really intelligent. So she wrote 8 episodes of a television series where she explains occult history to the camera with like a puppet friend who is a demon king who possesses her soul, but he's like a little crow with baby arms, which I got to make. And then our portion of the show was like the historical reenactments, which were all done with puppetry. So we got to make all these puppets for these historic occultist figures. And our little portions were like 2 to 10 minutes in the show. And each one was really unique. Like we went from the Middle Ages to all the way to modern times. And actually, even before the Middle Ages, we were doing like prehistoric people at one point, all about different areas of occult history.
Right. I thought it was amazing. I remember seeing you making the faces, the puppets' faces. Amanda, who is art director at Direct Message. You guys know Amanda. She's come on Movie Lovers Unite. You guys know her. Anyways, she made the gowns and the clothing for these puppets, and I'm telling you, they're beautiful. I mean, every single one is different and every single one is beautiful. But Joel made this crow. You guys, let me show you guys real quick. Okay, that's the crow that he's holding in his hand. He made that. He made that. Joel, how long did it take you to make it? Because it was beautiful when it was done, but I know it took you some time.
Yeah, it was a while. I wasn't able to work on it full time, but I bet it took me 8 weeks total.
Wow.
Just chipping away at it here and there. Started with a clay sculpture. Actually, before that, started with a design sent to me by Cassie Workman, who also draws, also plays music, writes comic books, and stand up and writes TV shows. Like she's this wealth of talent. You will hear of her if you haven't. But so she sent me this drawing. I kind of worked it into a sculpture. We, a lot of back and forth here. I was sending her pictures of my progress to make sure that I was on the right track. Made a plaster mold of the clay sculpture, took the clay out, poured latex inside, so then you have a latex version of the sculpture. Painted that, added the beak and the baby arms, and then we put feathers all over it, real black feathers to make it crow-like. I got some like glass taxidermy eyes to use for the eyes. Yeah, altogether, I think about 8 weeks.
That's that, you guys. That's the crow right there. It's more beautiful in person, but that's the crow that he did right there. Okay, so we'll move from Because you did so much work at DM, I want to know about the music video that you direct. Well, you did, what would you say directed? And
Yeah,
you also did these puppets for a music video. Talk about the artist, how you got involved with that, and just the awesome puppets that you made for that, because that was pretty dope.
thank you. Yeah, the band's called Tentacult. They're a local Sacramento metal band. Not exactly sure what genre of metal. There's way too many for me to know how they fit. I think they kind of cross genre anyway. But they, my coworker and friend Murph is also friends with them. He asked them if they wanted a video for their new record that they were recording. They said yes. Murph came to me and said, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think we should do puppets." And he and I were both aligned that it should be kind of a Dungeons and Dragons um, adventure, sort of 80s fantasy adventure, but made with these puppets, rod puppets, and but kind of realistic rod puppets, but also very cartoony in their proportion, I guess. And so started making the characters. In this case, the band really they wanted to be in the video as well, so we figured out a way to get them in there. They're actual people in a cage who are being forced to play by this warlock, and the warlock has this other situation going on with this adventurer party of adventurers is raiding his castle to kill him, and he's actually a bad guy, or maybe I don't know. It seems like. And so we made the puppets. We used mostly sets we already had. I built a few things, but we have so many sets laying around the studio that we were able to repurpose a bunch of the stuff we've done before, used before. Um, Filmed it on weekends, and then Murph, who is like our post production supervisor and excellent editor, edited it, and so yeah, that was it. And it was released, and people watched it. And I think it's a really fun video.
It was awesome. I remember watching you play around because I didn't know what you were doing. I just remember you setting up the stage with the camera and working with one of the puppets. And it was one where I think his head had to come off or something had to come off, but you're playing with the blood and all that. Wondering what it was. Finally, when we got to see the video, was so, so cool. And it's like, and I'm always thinking, who is this? Who is this man that I'm working with? Like, he does this, he's doing this, now he's directing videos. When you got done with that video or any work that you've done, do you go through rethinking of maybe I should have done this, or were you happy with the finished project? How does your mind work with in those situations?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I have a pretty good way of letting go of things. Like I'm pretty good at knowing when to move on and not really overthink the minutia of what I could have done. There is a period where I do that, but it's mostly for learning how to do it better next time.
Okay.
I try not to beat myself up over mistakes that I made. Rather, I try to learn from them so that I can just keep getting better at what I do. But there's always shortcuts that I'm taking that I probably shouldn't be. And so later I, look back and I'm like, oh man, if we just spent 10 more minutes there, we would have made this look a lot better. But sometimes you just don't have those 10 minutes. You're really trying to get finished, especially when we're working weekends and no one's getting paid. You don't really want to keep them there for too long. So you want to be economic with the resources. But
All right, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I don't really have anything else to say.
Let me ask you this. Okay, let's get into some. This is all fun, but I want to ask you about probably month 1 or 2 of working there. Maybe it's around October. The Elvis poster board where you're dressed up as Elvis. You also have a band, and so you're creative in that space. Tell me about that. The Elvis that I saw first, can you let me know what that is? Because I still didn't know what that was, but you have a band, so you also play. So let's talk about music and your love for music and the time. What times do you have when you're working at the studio to make time to go and do music? Because I know that you're very involved in the music scene.
Yeah, well, I think I would like to be. I don't know how truly involved in the music scene I
Okay.
am at this stage, but I do love music. I play in a band that I've been playing with since 1993. We're called
Wow.
Four Eyes. We went to high school together, had a band in high school, kept playing music together, and after I graduated in '92, after high school we continued playing and started a new band, which has lasted all of this time, for better or worse. And so we're called the Four Eyes. Been a Sacramento band since '99, and we're right now recording a new record, which is great.
Really?
We're
Okay.
like fourth, our fourth full length record of original material. We also have a bunch of records of covers because we split off once in a while and become a cover band.
Okay.
Um, and then every year at Christmas time, we do a show that is all covers, which is three sets, 3 1 hour sets of music we've never played before. We've practiced it obviously, but we have never played it live. So new covers every year. We've done that 22 times or something.
Wow.
So altogether, it's like 1,000 covers that we've done.
Wow.
I think it's an impressive number. They're not that good, but the volume is impressive. Uh, and that Elvis thing. So there's an event,
Okay.
annual event that's been happening in Sacramento on and off and in varying iterations for like 25 years or more. It's called the Sacramento Halloween Show. Started off very small, it's grown very large. Currently, it is at the Red Museum. It was at Verge Center for the Arts before that. Before that, it was kind of moving around, but it started at a venue called The Loft in Sacramento, which was like an underground punk venue, as a Halloween party, right? And bands would go and perform other bands' material dressed as those bands. So you've seen,
Awesome.
Kiss playing on Halloween, you've seen the
Okay.
Misfits playing on Halloween. It was that spirit, but they tried it once and they liked it. So the next year they did a different theme. I think it started out as Metal Night, and the next year was punk. I might have those mixed. And then they would continue with a theme every year. I came in 1999 on Junkie Night, uh, which is all bands that had drug problems. And we were in Lou Reed, I think, and Gigi Allen. But and so over the years, I've been involved in the show pretty many times, and I wasn't going to be at that one because I was going to be out of town
Okay.
at my mother-in-law's wedding. So some people made that cutout of me so that I could be present at the show, and they put it in
Okay.
Elvis outfit because I guess it's a very obvious theme, a costume.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. Was I the king? It felt like I was.
Hey, I
I
loved
don't
it.
consider myself to be, but that's what I think the gesture was. I think it was a gesture of respect. Maybe they were
Yes.
trolling me.
I just remember seeing that and was like, that's awesome, but I'm new there, so I don't know what that's about. The album that you guys are working on right now, first of all, when do you get time for you guys to rehearse? And tell me a little bit about the album, the songs. Did you write songs on the album? How did that come about?
Yeah, well, we rehearse once a week on Fridays when we can. It's definitely not once a week. And when we were younger, we used to play more often. Now we probably only play live, 10 times a year or something, and that might be an overestimation.
Okay.
Um, but oh, yeah, I wrote a lot of the songs on the record over
Okay.
the years. We've been our last record we released in like 2005 or something.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
21 years without one.
Yeah.
And we haven't been writing songs particularly quickly. So we just amassed a group of them that we thought we should record. We've been trying to record this record for about the last 3 years,
Wow.
but we just never could make the time. But this year we did. So we were in the studio last weekend, and we did all the like basic tracks: the drums, the bass, and the guitar. Pardon, the drums, the bass, and the guitar, and that's all that's in the band: drums, bass, guitar, and singing. I sing and
Okay.
play guitar. And we were so tired because we did like 2 hours on Thursday and 3 hours on Friday, and then like 6 hours on Saturday. And that's a lot of playing, trying to play everything right. You know, if you make a mistake, you got to do it again, which isn't the way it is live. So by the end of it, we were all really wiped out. But
Absolutely.
and we're not done, but we'll be done in the next month or so, and we'll be releasing it. Not sure what it's going to be called.
Okay. Um, do you like that? Is that being in a band and I didn't even know you're in a band like that long, Joel. I didn't even know. I didn't know you were working on the album. I mean, you have so much going on, but performing live, how does that feel? Are you like a totally different personality? You know, when you're on stage, how does it feel performing in front of people and just the love that they give you?
Oh man, it's the best. Yeah, I'd say I'm a little bit different. I'm fairly authentic on stage, but maybe just a little bit bigger. I'm more like a game show host. But the other fellows in the band are really funny, and so we just like bounce ideas and jokes off each other constantly on stage. So that's always fun. And our music's fast. We're like a rock and roll punk garage band kind of thing. So we play like fast and high energy, fun rock and roll,
Awesome.
and yeah, I love it. We it's very fun, especially to play in front of like a big group of people who've never seen you before. You kind of win them over, and you have a good time making people dance. You can get them to
Right.
dance. Hard to get people to dance these days.
I know, I know, I know. I'm one of those people. I want to, but I just can't. You know, I just can't. I refuse to. My husband's like, please, 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 just sway, just sway, just do that, just sway. Um, do you only perform in Sacramento, or do you perform outside of Sacramento?
Yeah, no, we perform elsewhere. We've been on a couple of tours where we went like across country or up the Northwest, but that was a long time.
Wow.
And then we'll play in San Francisco. We're from Santa Cruz, so we play in there, play around there sometimes.
Right.
I mean, we'll play anywhere. Our whole ethos is like anytime, anywhere, and we play for free more often than we play for money, just because we love to do it. It used to be kind of just practice. We would want to just have the experience, but I think we've gotten the experience now. We're just addicted to it.
What big projects are you working on right now? What can we expect from you? I know we have the album coming out, and I'll have you share some links and some things so that we can kind of put that in the description of the video. You guys will be able to link up with Joel in the description of the video. Go check out his Instagram, and yeah, you can hook up with him. Before you even answer that, let me ask you this because I love the latest puppets that you have recorded, the signs, the protesting puppets. Where did that come from? Tell me about that. That is so cool. When I went on Instagram and saw that, I'm like, that's so dope. That's so dope. Tell me about that. Tell us about that.
Well, it was super organic.
Okay.
I was planning on attending a protest on Friday in February, and it was the day that there was like a national walkout,
Yes,
and
that's right.
so we, uh, you know, my work is very, very giving in that way, very generous, and wants to support that sort of thing. And so we were all given the day off if we needed it, if we wanted it. So I decided to go into work and photograph my own protest, which was we've got all the puppets from Cassie Workman's Witchy AF show, which is soon to be released. We're still trying to sell it,
Okay.
figure out where it's gonna premiere, but at a festival this year, I hope. And
Awesome.
then after that, probably on some sort of streaming service or television network.
Okay. Awesome.
But so we've got like, I don't know, 65 of these puppets that are about a foot tall each, very human scale. And my coworker Megan said she wants to see all those puppets with protest signs in their hands. And that just started me thinking, well, yeah, if I'm going to do that, which I'll do, I'm going to photograph it. And then if I'm going to photograph it, maybe I should make a video out of that and post it on the internet so that other people can be inspired
Right.
and share the word about what's going on and how I
Right.
feel about it. So yeah, photographed these amazing puppets, and then I'm not embarrassed to say, but some people might have a stigma against it. But I used an AI tool to
Awesome.
animate them in different ways.
Okay.
It took me a lot of tries because the animation tool is a child and it'll just do crazy stuff. But if you work at it and coax it hard enough, you can get some beautiful work.
Yeah.
And I am not for people losing their jobs, and I'm not for computers taking the place of artists. But I could never have done that. March down the street would have taken 30 people or 40 people, and like I only had 3 hours. So I was able to do it in 3 hours, and the world gets to experience this video at least, though it maybe isn't created in the way I have normally done it. But we're on the cusp of like a revolution in this way, and I think that in 10 years it's not going to be all the questions will have been answered, and
Right.
I don't think it's going to have the same stigma that it has now with
Right.
people in the arts. But I'm
Right.
trying to embrace it as much as I can. I think that those tools are very valuable as I'm learning that you can create something powerful like that in just a few hours that maybe would have taken weeks.
Right. No, I first saw it on your Instagram and saw the puppets, and it was dope as hell. I thought maybe you didn't use AI and made it, but regardless, it's really cool how you did it. I love them having the signs. I love the newest one that was uploaded. So they were just dope. I really like that, and I like some of the signs that if you read each puppet sign, it was just very creative. Talk about upcoming projects that we have that you are working on, actually, because I know you're working on some projects. Are there any of them that you can talk about?
Well, let's see. I mean, besides the record and this Cassie Workman is Witchy AF show, which is pretty much the big thing that I
Yes.
would say watch out for that because that's going to be coming and it's probably the best thing I've ever worked on
Awesome.
and the most complete and the most polished, I guess. Because typically my aesthetic is a little rough
Okay.
and a little very playful, and but in that show, I put on my more professional hat and tried to keep things a lot cleaner. So there's that. Cassie Workman is Witchy AF,
Yes.
which it was filmed already, but will be released at some point this year. Please look out for that. The Four Eyes record, which I don't know what it's called, so I can't tell you what to look out for there. We have another record that we're doing right now called Mashes for All Occasions. You've heard of the Monster Mash,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And but so what if there was a mash for every holiday? So we're making like the Labor Day mash,
Heck
um,
yeah.
the mash. We kind of just jumped the fence right away, and we did the mash about the show Mash, um, and the breakup mash. We've already released the Christmas mash in the past. Oh, the trick or treat mash. What a wild idea to have a mash about Halloween. Um,
Awesome.
and of course, that's all based on the mashed potato, which is like a song that came out
Right?
in the late 50s, I think,
Yep.
which turned into the Monster Mash. Yeah, so we're going to release that this year as well.
Awesome. Okay.
And the Four Eyes, this is a big year for the Four Eyes. We went about 25 years without doing anything. So now we're making up for it. We just released a 7-inch record, a 45, of a
Okay.
song called Earth 2025, which we wrote in like 2002 about this text-based video game called Earth 2025 that was around in the 80s, where you have a little country and everyone else does too. It's like the first MMORPG, but it's all
Okay.
text based, and you're just like deciding how many resources to put into defense and missiles and you know
Okay.
um, chemical warfare, and do you want to poison the enemy's food supply and all these horrible things, but which become more relevant as we move into the real 2025. But so we wrote that song and then we released it last year, and it's available now. We're going to have our record release show, like I said, on February 26th.
Okay. The Four Eyes, where can they follow you? Do you guys have a separate Instagram page?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
It's called hashtag the Four Eyes, and you have to spell out the word hashtag.
Okay. I'm gonna
Hashtag.
make sure hashtag. Okay. You guys, that will be in the description of the video when this interview drops, so you can link up and
Okay,
follow Joel by the album, and follow them on their journey. Yeah, you guys can find out where they're going to be playing at. Go check out the Four Eyes. Before I go, this is your time, Joel. Anything that you want to say? Well, let me ask you this though: for people that want to get into the business that you're in, for those young people out there, is there a certain should they go to school? I mean, school's not for everyone, but how would they go about becoming Joel?
oh man, I don't know about that.
Okay.
I do know that you could. I think the good skills to learn for what I do would be general movie making skills, right? So film
Okay.
school is a really good place to go.
Okay.
If you can't afford that or don't want to do that, there's a myriad of online sources where you can get a film school education. You want to learn about lighting, and you want to learn about camera angles and editing and how scenes work, and like what the basics of filmmaking is. That's what I do. It's just tiny. Um, and then, like for me, I went to a robotics school to learn to mechanize things so that I could
Okay.
make puppets move, right, with remote controls and stuff. I don't really do a whole lot of that, but animatronics.
Okay.
I learned that. I also learned how to do stop motion at a young age using clay, like clay animation. But I
Okay.
mean, really, what you should do if you want to get interested, if you're interested in this and you want to get into it as a field, just do it. Do it, do it, do it. Make videos. Watch a video on how to make a video. Copy it. Make a video. Use your own mind to make changes next time. Figure out how to do it better. How to achieve your vision more. Pre-production is really important. So the more you can write down your ideas beforehand, the less you'll have to think about it later. Storyboards are really important for what we do. So sometimes it's good to just make a comic of what you want to show as a
Yeah.
story, even with stick figures, so that you just get the general beats. But I would say just start making movies, entertain your friends, entertain your family. If people are laughing, you know you're doing something right, and then keep going, um, because opportunities will present themselves. I really don't know how you find this kind of work,
Right. Yeah.
especially outside of LA. Like, I don't know what you would even look for, production companies or something. Start as a production assistant. I mean, you
Yeah.
can always hit up direct message. We
Yes.
have on our website, we have a hiring section. We're usually not hiring, but as projects come up, we do hire people who are, um, their skill levels vary from very not very skilled to very skilled, depending on what's needed, and so that could be an opportunity. Um, Sat casting, right? That's
Yeah.
where you
Set casting is
right.
great. Yeah. Set casting was wonderful.
That's like a very good community for
Yes.
within Sacramento to get involved and network, meet other filmmakers, and if you're interested in acting or directing, or just like the idea of being on a movie set as your job, there's opportunities there. You usually don't get paid at the beginning, but you will get experience.
Yes, absolutely. I have to say it was a pleasure, to be introduced to direct message and to be a part of, what you guys do. I love it. It's a place where you walk in and it's hard to be upset. You know what I mean? You go in there, if you're having a bad day, you go in there, and once you get on set and you see these toys, and some things are just so funny, so crazy. It's just you can't help to laugh. And then when you have days where it's going to be a paint day or a mud day or whatever, it's a really good time. So I was really blessed to be able to take that call from Sat Casting. So you guys definitely download Sat Casting. You'd be amazed at what you find. And you'll definitely be able to follow direct message. It'll be in the link of the description of the video as well. So go and follow direct message, see what they're doing. They're a brilliant company here in Sacramento. They're doing big things. So I'm so happy to be a part of them. Joel, do you have anything to say?
Oh, let's see.
Yes, well, this is your time.
I want to mention that, like, when you walk into that studio, it's all kinds of toys, because it's like the toys that you use to make stuff, which are tools, but we call them toys because we're grown-up kids. Then there's all the real toys around, like all the action figures and trucks and vehicles and things are all around too. Stuffed animals and things. It's like this all the toys, and from cameras and computers and fancy little gadgets that shoot smoke or whatever.
Yes,
to like an actual little doll of a dog.
Right.
Not the greatest closing thought, but
that's great, because I forgot that. Like, you do like you said, there's toys, but there's cameras, there's fog machines, there's bubble machines. I mean, if you have a toy play and they need bubbles, guess what? We got that there. And then if you want to be really creative, we did avatar shorts, and that was the coolest, because really got to use the fog machine, the smoke, in the background. It's really cool what they do there and bringing a set to life. And so I know, the Toy Play channel, Nickelodeon has a Toy Play channel. You probably will see a lot of our stuff there, guys. Go and check it out. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what they do. And the kids love it. The channel is nuts. It's nuts. There's so many followers on that channel. So you guys, this is Joel Goulet, Sacramento creative director, and a friend of mine that I work with and have learned so much from. I also want to mention, because I have really gotten into wanting to highlight businesses out there, small businesses out there, guys, that are trying to come up. So we have AJS. If you guys are in the Sacramento area and you got some junk that you want to remove, you're doing some spring cleaning coming up, contact AJS. They are Junk Removal and Hauling LLC. All junk they will come and pick up for you. Okay, so definitely you guys will be able to link up with AJS. If you're in the Sacramento area and you want to get rid of some stuff, do some spring cleaning, get in touch with AJS. Okay. Other than that, be good to each other. All right, and I'll see you guys here real soon. I'm Rossie McCree. This is Rossie's Clubhouse. Please share the video, like the video, subscribe to Rossie's Clubhouse. Also, go listen to it on Spotify or wherever you guys listen to your podcast. Go and follow Rossie's Clubhouse, trying to grow the channel. So I appreciate you guys, and all the new listeners and watchers. Thank you so much. Joel, thank you for lending your time and sitting and sharing your talents with us. We are out, you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good week, guys.